Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Tony. This is Trophy Food Experiences. So today I'm doing a review of another restaurant that I went to in Hong Kong recently called Pang's Kitchen. It is in Happy Valley, located at 25 Yik Yam Street, and it is a one-star Michelin restaurant. I would really recommend this restaurant if you want great food, very hospitable atmosphere, and like affordability. This is your place. It's great Cantonese cuisine, probably the best I've seen anywhere. Value for money, it's the best Michelin star for Cantonese food I've seen at hands down. And you're not going to get like white tablecloth service, but if you want really friendly service, like they treat you like you're at home, this is the place for you. You can see on their door, they've been rated Michelin star for I think the last 10 years. And you know the food must be great because you know it's not because of their service and their ambiance, and you know it's because of their wine list. It's really just about the food. And so they know that too. The owners are so hospitable. You get in the door, they're just sitting there hanging out. They'll just talk to you. They'll make things for you and give you suggestions. They're great. So if you like that kind of hands-on approach, kind of like a Chinese version of the Cheers bar. So it's kind of weird, but it's so friendly. Like, it's unbelievable. It's so unpretentious. And the food quality is spectacular. So good that we went back twice. Because Hong Kong hasn't really fully opened back up to tourism, their menu is in Chinese, but they did show me they did have some printed off in English also. They're really missing the tourism industry. I was talking to the owners, and they're a huge part of their business was tourism and foodies from all around the world, and they really miss that. They actually love talking to people, and they're really chatty. They love to talk about the food and just present great food. So they really miss all their visitors all around the world. So we go inside for lunch. It's not too busy. We went a little bit after the rush, but they're really not that busy these days. And we saw these crabs. These are kind of small crabs, and you'll see them. They're really delicious and tasty. They're right fresh daily. And I think they're kind of like rock crabs, or I don't know, ground crabs, something like that. But they're nice and small, and you'll see what they look like when they have cooked them. I'm here at Pang's Kitchen, Causeway B, one-star Michelin. Service is just spectacular. You feel like right at home. The owners come out and greet you. Look at the great food we've got. We've got the clams here. Sauce is spectacular. Then we got this like rock crab. Never seen this. It's just live. They've got it on the table. Owner putting it out to us. And now we just got the sweet and sour pork. This is tremendous. I'm loving the experience. It's just like home cooking, Michelin star. I can't believe that this is not more crowded. We're lucky we're here in the afternoon, not many people, but I'm just thrilled. This is their clam dish. So I guess this pan-fried clams, and they are put in a sauce that's got everything. Got some sweetness, some sourness, and a little bit of chili pepper. So a little bit of heat. So it's really delicious. And you could tell by this dish, we had to have one of their other signature dishes, the sweet and sour pork, because you could tell if they make this well, their sweet and sour pork is going to be just outstanding. I'll mention also that all the dishes are between $120 Hong Kong and maybe at the top range about $240. So anywhere between $20 to $40 a dish, which I don't think is ridiculous given the quality of the food. So this is the ground crab or rock crab that comes out after it's been steamed. It's served not steaming hot. It's served kind of cooled down. So it's not I would say it's not a cold crab, but it's kind of served like a lukewarm. And the shells are kind of soft. You're not like soft shell where you could eat them, but at the same point, they're easy to crack with your hands. It's a very small crab, so you could have one crab for 2 people, or you could share it among 4 people. You just want to taste. The meat comes out very easily, and it's really, really fresh. It's a magnificent dish. This is their sweet and sour pork dish, and it's got. They also have a very neat variation of this. They have a sweet and sour with strawberries instead of pineapples. So I didn't try this one. I just tried the pineapple one. What distinguishes their sweet and sour pork as good as I've tasted anywhere else? There's a lot of times Chinese restaurants will use the end cuts or the most fatty cut things that they don't want to use in other dishes. This is like really good stuff. It's not just the fat. It's deep fried very well. It's very crispy still. It's like the meat is nice. It's not just like fat, and it also has some bones. So it's got some ribs in there. So it's a really good dish, and probably I can't think of another example of a sweet and sour pork dish that I've had anywhere else that tops this. So we're getting to the end of the meal. We've got some spectacular food. I've enjoyed everything that they've served. We've got the fish jaw, a very unique dish. Then we've got the glutinous rice. Then we have the squid. So this is kind of their sticky rice or dish. And I'm not a big fan of this type of rice, but for those that are, they will love it because it's got that stickiness. It's got a ton of ingredients and a huge aroma. And so it's a really magnificent dish for people who are connoisseurs of this type of rice. Again, that's not my favorite. I just like plain rice, but you have to try it because it's one of their specialties. And they just kept on coming out and telling us, hey, you want to try this? You want to try this? And we just kept on saying, sure. And everything that came out was great. They just come and they cook it in the, it's fresh. So you order it, they cook it right away. It's not like they've got it all done beforehand or whatever. It's done on the spot and it's really fresh. Everything just tastes so vibrant, very intense flavors. Again, we were a little bit out of our element. We tried to try things that they specialize in, and they specialize in a lot of innards and things like that, which I'm not really into. But this is their it's kind of the fish jaw. So for those people that like eating like fish bones or the meat around the fish bone, which is much more tender, they'll love this. It's got some glutinous elements to it. And it's really soft and tender, but it's more difficult to eat, obviously, because it's got bones. So again, I wanted to try it. I thought it was delicious. It was that, and for those people who like eating fish bones or meat around the fish bones, I think they'd be in heaven with this dish. Again, this is one of their specialties, so I did want to try it. This is the Chinese version of calamari. So this is kind of squid fried. And again, if you see, just looking at it, you can tell it's not that oily. And they really have some really skillful people that are doing the frying, and that's what they explained to us. We said, hey, your sweet and sour pork and this is so good, and they were saying that is a very, very difficult thing to find a chef that the frying chef is actually takes a lot of skill, and it's a lot of work because the fryer you get burned a lot by the grease from the fryer, and if you actually don't know what you're doing, you can actually burn yourself pretty badly with all the grease that comes out of the fryer. And so you have to be very skillful about this, and it's a hard job to find a really good person, but they've got someone, and so their food comes out just magnificent. Not sure what you call this in English, but in Chinese this is hai kim, and you see this a lot at banquets. Look at the huge meat component to this, and inside is stuffed with crab meat and I think a little bit of other type of seafood meat, but it's just a really good dish. And again, maybe the presentation could be a bit better, maybe the ambiance could be a bit better, but it's all about the food here. I mean, it's amazing. The food is just amazing. It's a lesson in Cantonese cuisine. It really is. It's a throwback Cantonese cuisine. This is like staples. They do the staples so well here. It's just like a master class. And I talked to them and they said, you guys, just on the food, you guys should probably be 2-star. And they knew that. They said, listen, we know that, but you know, we cook for the people. We don't care about the stars. We get them every year, and they just do their thing. And they've been doing this for many years. They do it for the love of it, and they have a lot of loyal customers. And so they're really, really friendly people. So this is another one of their signature dishes, and I'm told these are really, really difficult to make. So it's kind of like battered milk. It's kind of like milk curd over scallops, and it takes a lot of work, supposedly. I guess if you're a connoisseur of Chinese cooking, this is a very difficult dish to make. It's nice and light and fluffy. It actually tastes to me like meringue, kind of like meringue on with scallops. It's okay for me, but I think if for traditional Chinese that like kind of this kind of milk product, or kind of milk or eggs, egg yolks, egg whites, that would be a nice dish. So again, I think it's an interesting dish on my behalf. We liked it so much we came back for day 2, and we had some of the similar things again, but this is some of the new stuff we had. These are razor clams. Again, they're really famous for their seafood. They get their seafood fresh every day, and it's the seasoning and how they prepare it that's the key. Again, this is with a lot of garlic. You can see on top of this, but kind of pan-fried garlic. It's going to be a mouthful. You're probably gonna have pretty bad breath after this, but it's delicious. And it's, again, the intensity of flavor that they get on all these dishes is very, very intense. It's in Chinese, they call it wok hei. They just have that. And it's not just about the fire, but it's about the expertise of how to use the BTUs in the correct manner to produce the food and produce the intensity of flavor of the food. And they really got it down to a science. I think you'll see this dish sometimes in Thai restaurants. So it's actually chicken wings with stuffed rice inside. It's quite a filling dish, but quite well done. Of the dishes, this was probably one of the ones that I thought was more plain than the others. There were a lot of stunning dishes, so it's not that the quality of this wasn't good, but just some of the other dishes were just exceptional. And so I like this dish, and they are famous for this, but I thought there were other dishes that stood out in my mind that were even better. This is their just beef with some beans and some almond or pecans on top. And you're thinking, how could this be that special? It's the intensity of flavor, and it's got a little bit of kind of black pepper on it. It's that intensity of flavor, and it makes other dishes that you have at traditional Chinese restaurants, the same dish, seem almost dilute in terms of flavor. I don't know how to explain it, but every dish seems like it's supercharged with intensity of flavor, and you really get that the knowledge, like the flavors come out, and there's distinctiveness in the taste of each dish. So each dish that we had kind of showed off culinary skill, and this is another example. It's another dish that it's very simple, because we said, hey, listen, we want some other. They just kind of have so much in their repertoire that they have that they're so good at. So this is just kind of vermicelli noodles on the bottom with some egg on the top, and then a little pieces of chicken. But what they told us is what we should be tasting is just the smoothness of the noodles, the smoothness of the egg, the smoothness of the chicken. It's just silky smooth. Everything it's almost like slurping down an oyster. It's that smooth. And so that's what they were trying to kind of get to us. The texture, if you want something a little bit smoother on the palate, you guys have been doing some fried food, and it was just the variation of food that they had. It's, how some restaurants, everything tastes the same or everything kind of looks the same. There was so much variation of food. So I really like that part of it. This is another one of these show off type items. So we asked them, hey, what else you got for us? And they they made these right away. These are kind of fish cake, flattened fish cakes. And again, I'm not a big fan, but if you like fish cakes, this is out of this world. It's so intense. Everything has got so much flavor in it, and you can smell it, you can taste it. And it's, for me personally, I'm not a crazy fan of fish cakes, but I wanted to try it because it was something that they wanted me to try. But it was just such a intense dish, and that's what I can say about all their dishes. All in all, spectacular experience. Again, if you have to go to one restaurant in Hong Kong, if you visit and you want to know about Cantonese cuisine, this is the place to go. It will, hands down, I can't think of another restaurant I would rather go for. Cantonese restaurant. It's not gonna be your like 5-star tablecloth service, that type of stuff, but it's gonna be very, very friendly. It's gonna be kind of very jovial, and they're gonna have a huge variety of food, and you're gonna eat like a king for a really affordable amount of money. Really glowing review of this restaurant. Until next time, happy eating.